You don't become an entrepreneur or become a coach to become a full-time content creator. That's not why you got into this. You got into this to change the world, to make an impact, to help people change their lives, and to make a difference. Focus on that. And I want you to remember that even if you feel like you suck at social media, it does not mean you suck at what you do. No, it just means that you don't know what the best messaging is to capture people's attention and to take them down that funnel into your offer.
Welcome to Camera Confident. I'm your host, Shirlee Engel, former TV correspondent turned entrepreneur. Tune in to master what to say, how to say it, and how to create buzz for your brand. Whether you're hitting record for the first time or trying to land major media opportunities, I've got you covered. Get ready to crush it on video or stage, attract more clients, and bring in more money so you can run your business and live your life your way. Hello, I'm so excited to have you on the Camera Confident podcast. Dawn Ferguson of Sneakers and Kale, which is a social media agency that has grown countless brands on social media to become the authorities they deserve. Dawn, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So for viewers and listeners who don't know much about you, give us your elevator pitch. Let us know what you do.
I've spent the last 18 plus years working in social media, which is kind of bananas because my career is as old as social media itself. But I first launched this little brand called Forever 21 on social media.
Little brand?
Long ago. Yeah. And, grew them to millions. And from there, I went on to run social media for a lot of really big brands, Fabletics, Kate Hudson's activewear brand, Vital Proteins, a lot of brands that you guys would know. Ultimately now, for me, I didn't love working for profit-driven businesses. I got really burnt out doing social media in a way that didn't feel aligned for me. And since I actually tried to quit social media forever, and I kept having people come to me asking for help. And really, I found a way of doing social media that connects it to your purpose and your mission and makes it so much more fulfilling as somebody who's trying to make a difference in the world and create an impact. So now I really basically use those strategies and systems that made those big brands millions and millions of dollars to help coaches, consultants, and course creators turn their content into sales, course sales, new clients, to build their thought leadership and authority.
Music to our ears. So many viewers and listeners of this podcast and students in Camera Confident Academy, that's exactly what they want to do. They are purpose-driven entrepreneurs who have a great story to tell. They're helping a lot of people, or they have a product that's helping a lot of people, or they have a system, and yet they look at something like social media and it's just daunting. Or they post and then they feel like nobody cares. It's like a tree falling in the forest. So let's just dive right in here. How do you successfully build a brand on social media these days when you're just a little small entrepreneur in your corner and you feel like no one's listening?
Oh, I feel that pain because I was there. So really the biggest thing first and foremost that you need to be successful on social media is, one, you need to know how it works. You need to know what the algorithm is and what its purpose is. Why does the algorithm exist? I like to call it the viral cheat code, right? Like, you need the viral cheat code.
Great.
Yeah, if you want to be able to reach and impact more people. I think the biggest problem too that most of us encounter is that we've used social media ourselves for years on the personal sides, especially as a solopreneur. You're like, oh yeah, I can do this. I know how social media works. So we put the pressure on ourselves to do it for our business, but really doing social media for business is a totally different ballgame. And that's where I see most people struggling, is that they don't really know how to do it for business. They're throwing spaghetti at the wall. They don't really know how it works. So the biggest thing that I recommend is investing in support and experts. So if you've been doing social media for months or years and it's doing nothing for your business, you're not seeing consistent leads and clients come in from it, something is broken. Something is not working. And if your toilet was broken, you would go straight up and call that plumber right away, right? You wouldn't go try and fix the toilet yourself. You wouldn't be like, oh, I can do. No, you'd bring in an expert to look at it and help you fix it. So really, that's what we help people with. You get really clear on what your strategy is and what you're doing. You learn what works. You know how that algorithm works, and then you build a strategy to deep dive. Who is my audience? Who am I talking to? Who is this person? So getting really clear on your niche, getting really clear on your purpose, your brand cause, your brand mission, and building a strategy around that. You shouldn't, it's not about trends. I have so many people come to me like,
Oh God,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, right? Like I need to do more trending audio, but it's one, I can't keep up with it, and two, it doesn't feel authentic to me. Like that doesn't
And
feel
it
good.
doesn't align with their brand, right? Or there's that advice, just be more consistent. Just post every day. Just post twice a day. Post 3 times a week. Like if you're on this platform this many times, like is any of that advice even valid?
Yes and no. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk, most people know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, right? This is a guy I've worked with I worked with years ago. I've been following him since the very beginning. Yes, he knows social media and he knows well, but his approach and his strategy that he teaches is the hustle, right? He literally preaches to be posting 5 times a day across
Oh
five
my.
different channels. It is completely unsustainable,
How does
especially,
anybody do that?
well, the way he does it is he has a whole team. He preaches quantity over quality. The algorithm wants to see quality, high quality content. I've seen so many people, they'll come to me and they're like, I'm a true expert in what I do, but their content is not aesthetic, or it's not, they just don't understand how to create elevated content, and that is what kills them too. So if it's blurry, if it's low end, if it makes you look like a girl next door versus a, professional elevated business, that is going to impact you in a negative way. So yes, the hustle strategy works in some capacities. The more you post, the more the algorithm is like, yeah, girl, right? The algorithm wants you to be spending time on social media. It wants you to be posting content consistently. Instagram wants us to spend time on Instagram, TikTok on TikTok, right? So they're always going to reward us for spending more time and posting more, but it is absolutely not the only way to do it. Look, I'm a mom. I have a baby. I still have a 9-month-old baby and a 6-year-old. A lot of my clients are moms too. We have equally important things. We're multifaceted people. When you're running a business,
Businesses to run.
exactly, right? When you're doing it all, when you're juggling it all, you need systems, you need strategy, you need to know what's effective. Again, I go back to that. It's number one. If you don't know what's effective on social media, you are wasting your time.
I want to go back to this idea of quality because a lot of students who come to me in Camera Confident Academy or clients that I work with say, I am putting quality out there. I'm teaching what I know. I'm teaching so much that I feel like I'm over delivering and giving way too much information. What do you mean by quality?
Great question. Number one, first and foremost, is your content is giving value. Okay, you're giving people a reason to follow you and to come back. Whether that's tips, that's teaching, that's coaching people through mindset shifts, that you can give value in all different ways. That could just be pure entertainment. You're giving people a good laugh and they know that they can count on you for that. Whatever it is, you need to be giving people value if you want them to follow you and stick around and come back. And all the big brands, big brands, big and small, who are successful and profitable from social media are doing that. Number two, the type of content you're posting. You're showing your face. You're showing up consistently. All of those things are going to help as well. We want sharp, high quality, footage. We have specific settings that we recommend people shoot content on, as I'm sure you do as well, right? Not blurry. It is purely in focus. It looks good. And then there's an aspect of aesthetic. I've seen some of the best experts in the world in their space and what they do, and they cannot create aesthetic content for the life of them, and it kills their feed because aesthetic matters. How can we create a beautiful space? How can we get more clear on that aesthetic? How can we use reoccurring brand colors and fonts to elevate and build a brand? To, create visual consistency when it comes to your feed.
One thing that I hear a lot from entrepreneurs is, look, my niche is very digital. I'm at my computer all day. I don't have a lot of B-roll, which is video of anything but you basically talking on screen. And that makes it really challenging to create a beautiful aesthetic. There was an era on Instagram, for instance, where everybody was trying to curate the perfect feed, right? Like you had to have professional photos and colors. Then there's advice that doesn't matter anymore. Like, take us through what matters.
I've worked in this field almost 20 years now, so I've seen kind of the ebbs and flows. And when you think about it from that perspective, it makes sense. I worked for a lot of fashion brands, and it was all this like high fashion, right? We would shoot Kate Hudson in this like, very expensive multi-million-dollar photo shoots. And that was what was performing for a while, long time ago on Instagram. And then the world culture shifted. Culturally, we were like, why is this so planned out and so untouchable? It didn't feel realistic. It didn't feel like reality. Not authentic, right? So then Snapchat blew up. And Snapchat was like, hey, we're going to create ephemeral content that disappears in 24 hours so you don't really have to care so much what it looks like. And then the whole world was like, what? This is amazing. So people shifted to Snapchat, and then Meta, formerly Facebook Inc., that owned Instagram at the time. So that's when they launched Stories. And so now we have Stories, which is ephemeral content, disappears in 24 hours, and it brings more, it takes that pressure off, makes it less aesthetic. And then TikTok happened, right? And TikTok exploded. The thing that is really powerful about TikTok is their algorithm. Big TikTok users, they're like, oh my gosh, my feed, there's nothing like my TikTok feed, my For You page. Like, they serve me the content that I want to see. And it's the most powerful algorithm many people have experienced from social media.
Why? What is it about the way the algorithm works on a platform like TikTok that's different?
That's a great question. They're serving content that is really focused on your activity. We have a Facebook page, we're connected to our friends and family. Instagram became very, very similar to Facebook, where we're connected with the people we went to high school with, right? Like all of these people in our lives. And so Facebook and Instagram are really designed to serve you that content. They want you.
Yeah, we don't see it, right?
Yeah, like, that's part of it, yeah.
2%.
Because they're trying to be more like TikTok.
They're trying to be more like TikTok. 2% of your followers or something on Instagram actually see your content. So is this just sort of like one of those leapfrog kind of games, or it's like, oh, this is trending now, this is trending now? Like, what is an entrepreneur to do? They can't be on all the platforms, right? So I know I always coach clients to choose one and do it really well before you start trying to be everything to everybody on every platform. And then also, you mentioned earlier the audience. So who are your clients? If your clients are all over Facebook and hang out on Facebook, then don't spend time on TikTok, right? Or vice versa. If you have a younger audience that's really into dynamic kind of content that's a lot more sort of quick and dirty and the style of TikTok, then invest your resources there, right?
Absolutely. My biggest recommendation for most entrepreneurs is that you got to be on Instagram. Like, Instagram is the new website. If you remember, what was it, God? 10, 15 years ago now, like, if you didn't have a website, you weren't a business. Like, you didn't exist. It was like your open sign. Now, same thing, Instagram. Everyone's on Instagram. So I always recommend people focus and make sure that they at least have a basic presence there. Okay. Facebook, you're going to need a Facebook account if you're going to run Meta ads and run ads on Facebook and Instagram in the future. So I always just recommend kind of replicate what you're doing on Instagram to Facebook, unless your audience is an older demographic. If you work with an older demographic, 40 plus, I would say 40 to 60, age 40 to 60 plus, they're on Facebook. Some of them, they're typically all on Instagram too, but they're on Facebook spending time with friends and family there. TikTok, I only recommend you use TikTok for your business if you love TikTok and you spend time on there yourself. If you don't, you're wasting your time. So many people come to me, entrepreneurs, and they're like, oh, well, I need to be everywhere. I need to be on TikTok because it's the next hot thing. I'm like, no, this is your permission slip to not do TikTok. Like you said, Shirlee, my recommendation across the board is always focus on one place. So for most people, for most entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, what I'm seeing right now is we're focusing on Instagram and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay, I do want to talk about LinkedIn because that is an area that I, as of the time of this recording, personally have really been leaning into, because it is a place where not only is the conversation a higher caliber, I find, but it's a much more positive place overall. It's kind of like the Pollyanna of social media, right? Like, people don't usually go on there and cut each other down because it's a professional networking site where people want to put their best foot forward, and your comments and what you post is often just as important as posting, right? And a lot of clients who I'm working with are wanting to just focus on LinkedIn right now. So what are your thoughts on LinkedIn and where that fits in the whole social media plan?
Yes, LinkedIn is incredible. One of the things I think is so rad about LinkedIn is that when anyone in your network likes or reacts to your post when you share, or they comment on it, it serves it to their audience. So there's like this huge unlock and potential for virality there. We used to have like hundreds of thousands of followers to reach hundreds of thousands of people. It's not that way anymore. We literally have clients who have 500, 1,000 followers, and we hit, 500,000 views on Reels, literally. And then it grows your account naturally over time when you're reaching that many people and your message is resonating with those people. So it's really powerful. LinkedIn, amazing. I totally agree. And the other aspect I think LinkedIn is really powerful for is if you're a thought leader, if you're a coach, consultant, course creator, someone who is focused on, you've got a brand mission, you are a true leader expert in your field, and you want to go from unknown expert in your little bubble to becoming more of a well-known authority in your space. LinkedIn is a really, really, really great place to build that thought leadership and authority, and do it in an easy way, because right now, literally text-only posts work really well on LinkedIn.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So that super low lift, all you have to do is write it. One thing, an approach I recommend to a lot of my clients who are doing both Instagram and LinkedIn is leverage your Instagram captions as LinkedIn posts. Right?
And vice versa, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Share and use that content. Repurpose, get really clear on what your message is and repeat that message over and over so you can become memorable and known for what you do. Because ultimately, marketing is an exercise in memorization. We want people to remember who we are, what we do, what are the problems that we solve, so that when they encounter someone in their lives with that problem, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you need Dawn. We got to repeat if we want to become memorable for those things. And if you think about any thought leader that you follow, that you love, Brene Brown, Simon Sinek, Amy Porterfield, they all talk about the same things. They talk about the same concepts. They're known for them because they repeat and they talk more
know,
about
like, and trust. I'll bet there's a lot of entrepreneurs watching and listening that are like, okay, Dawn, how do I turn all this effort into social media into a paycheck? Into money, into revenue. So what are some tips that you can give for how to monetize your social media when you're an entrepreneur and your time is your most valuable resource and you want to get an ROI on all that effort?
So good. I have so many recommendations. There's really like the 5 key places that I focus on are you need to optimize your bio. That's the first thing. You want to optimize your profile page. You want to turn your profile page into a sales page almost. You want to think about it like that. When you can optimize these key places on your profile page, so your bio, your cover graphics and your hooks, your highlights and your pinned posts. You gotta think about the funnel, right? People are coming at the top of the funnel. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're all about. They're just meeting you for the first time. You need to capture their attention because Instagram, LinkedIn, any of these channels we're talking about are highly distracting spaces. We have 2 seconds to capture their attention in the feed. And if we don't, they're going to forget us forever and they're going to go away, right? So we have 2 seconds.
Depressing. Forever.
But it's also an opportunity. Right? It's an opportunity to get really clear on who are we talking to and what do they need to hear to get their attention captured. Have all of those aspects of our profile page working for us, we can turn it into a sales page that drives sales for us around the clock. So that's a key thing that I recommend. Another big core concept that I talk about is what I like to call your bridge offer. You need a bridge offer. So most people, coaches, consultants, they're, when they're starting out on social media, they're like, hey, book a discovery call with me, right? So their call to action, one, they kind of suck at using their calls to action frequently. So they'll forget to put that CTA on their post or they'll feel icky about doing it. CTAs, calls to action, you gotta use them on every single post and don't feel weird about it. I need you to like shift your mindset from social media is like this, place where we're building like, know, and trust. It's where we're connecting with people, but it's also selling. And when you can think about selling as serving people and you can shift your mindset to, selling is serving. I can serve people at a higher level when they purchase from me, when they come to work with me. When you can start getting in that mindset, you're going to start talking about your offers more and you're going to make those offers. And all it is when you're leaving a call to action, all that is making an offer to help somebody. That's all it is.
I love that. I love thinking about it that way. Especially if you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, right? Because obviously we can't solve people's problems with one post or even with following along in a very one-sided relationship where the viewer is really just a viewer, right? They can't engage
Yep.
other than maybe with some comments. But if they want to go deeper, you need to give them a way to do that, right? And so many people just assume, oh, I'm going to just give all this value and people are just going to come to me. And sure, that does happen when you reach a certain level of celebrity in your niche. You do attract people that are like DMing you, asking you to work with you. But at the beginning, especially, you need to tell people what they need to do. You need to hit them over the head with that call to action, right?
Exactly. And again, it's really just offering to help. So when you're giving these tips and you're teaching and you're doing such a great, I encounter so many people that do that left and right. And then they're like, why is this not converting into sales? I'm giving so many tips. I'm giving away my entire course. It feels like I'm giving all that value, but nobody's coming. And then they think that their course is what sucks. Oh, maybe my course isn't giving that much value, or maybe my program doesn't. No, it's not that. It's just that you're not using the right language to describe it. You're not using the language to capture people's attention and really get them, entice them into that space where you can give them that value they need. And you need to find the right people, right? Mm-hmm. And that messaging qualifies and finds the right people for you. So the bridge offer is the next step. So where I see a lot of, coaches and consultants, they're like, hey, come book a sales call with me. Book this discovery call. Well, if I'm coming in at the top of the funnel and I just met you and I'm like, wow, this seems like someone I need to work with, sometimes I'm going to be way too shy to go book a sales call with you immediately. I also may not want to get sold right away. And that feels like, even if we call it a discovery call or we call it a free coaching call, often it feels like I'm signing up to get a sales pitch. And we're not always ready for that right away. So here enters your bridge offer. And this is the difference that I see between like low 6-figure earners and high 6-figure to multiple 7-figure business owners is they have this bridge. They have this, okay, come in, let me give you some more value. Okay, my Instagram content's very short form. I can give you little tips here and there, but it's very short, very, very brief, and I can't give you the full value that I can deliver. And also, you kind of need to see me in action so that you can understand my power and the value that I can truly give you in your life. So you offer a bridge. Instead of diving straight into your paid offer, you say, hey, come join my free workshop. Let's say you're a health coach and you help midlife women lose weight and get healthy and get their energy back. So your bridge offer could be, hey, I'm going to share the 5 secrets you need to know about perimenopause and how to actually lose weight and feel your best even when you're going through this peri or menopause, right? And so you say, come to my free workshop. Okay, your bridge offer. You give people a link. They have to enter their email to get it. So it's like a lead magnet. Once they enter their email, they get in. They get to watch your workshop. They see you in action. They get to feel your energy and see and get taught by you. And they learn, the basic fundamentals. Your bridge offer should set you up to make your paid offer. When they come to the end of it, you're like, hey, if you want some more help with this, if you'd like to go deeper, if you're trying to lose that weight and put all these things into action, you need accountability. Accountability is the number one thing that's going to help you be successful. So if you'd be interested, come on into my container. What I'm saying today resonates with you and you would like to move forward to the next level to get better, bigger results, I'm here for you. Here's what that would look like. And then you give your offer.
A lot of entrepreneurs and those who are venturing into the digital space, or that's primarily where they exist, they hear this idea of a lead magnet and they think, oh, I just need to create a PDF. So are PDF lead magnets like so 2020, or are they still as effective? Because from my vantage point as a camera confidence coach, obviously, the more opportunities people have to see you, to interact with you, to see you speaking, to see you engaging, that's what we really want to get, right? We want to get people to engage with us. So how valuable then is that written PDF or that faceless interaction as a lead magnet?
That's an amazing question. And here, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to approach that question. I'm approaching that question as a social media strategist and a marketer, right? I am not a business coach. So I will just say that right here. But what I see when it comes to social media and marketing, which is typically the funnel that people are using to bring people into their business and sign more clients. And what I'm seeing there is absolutely video wins overall. Video, all the social media channels have converted to video first. It's all video first. And why? I think it's because we can really get a feel for your energy. We can see you in action. We can see, oh, is this somebody that that like really resonates with me deep down? Do I feel like there's someone that I want to learn from? Because at the end of the day, when you're a service provider or you're providing, your course is, you're providing a transformation. You're selling a transformation. You're giving value. You're helping somebody go from problem to solution, from A to B. You're taking them on a journey, and you are the guide. They're the hero of the journey. They're the star of this movie, right? We're just here. We're the guide. We're the Yoda. We're the, the guide that's going to help get them there. Okay? And so when we're in that seat, absolutely, to work with a guide, a mentor, someone like that, yeah, you got to get to know their energy. You want to feel them. You want to see them. And again, I'm not making this up. You can literally go and look at all of the coaches that are running, if you're a 6-figure entrepreneur that's trying to hit 7 figures, go look at all those 7-figure coaches. Go look at James Wedmore. Go look at Amy Porterfield, Jenna Kutcher, Simon Sinek, all these like thought leaders, and you will see that they're offering a bridge offer. They're never just saying, come hop on a sales call with me, right? They have some sort of bridge offer that gives you deeper value, that you're able to see them in action and feel their magic and resonate with their energy. And then they're making an offer to move forward with you.
And they're showing their face. I would love to get your hot take on faceless content. This is a question I get a lot. And this is something we see a lot on social media. There's a lot of people who are like, faceless content, you don't need to be on, don't worry. Yep. Social media strategist, what do you think of that?
Oh my gosh, it's such a huge trend, and I'm so glad you brought it up because not everybody is aware of it going on. And it is a huge trend right now, and here's what I think is so rad about it. Yes, the algorithm, across the board, the algorithm wants to see your face. It is social media. It wants to see humans. It wants to connect humans with other humans. The other thing we talked about earlier, the algorithm likes to see aesthetic content. So there's this whole like revolution right now of all these people talking about faceless marketing, and they're showing these highly aesthetic videos. It's a trendy girl holding a coffee or a matcha, and she's walking, and she's beautiful and perfect, and she's got the most beautiful background, or it's someone typing on a laptop, and it's beautiful, it's aesthetic. That works on Instagram too. The algorithms love it. So there's sort of these two competing approaches. My POV is that the faceless marketing movement is incredible if you are a product-based business. If you're selling a product, you can do that. If you're providing a service, you're a coach, you're a consultant, it's the last thing on earth I would ever, ever, ever recommend to you, because people are working with you. They want to see you. They want to see your face. They want to connect with you. And social media has always existed to show and allow people to connect with the humans behind the business. So the big brands have this trend where they're using their social media managers, and those become the face of the brand. And they show employees in the business because people want to buy from people, not companies. Okay, so that's number one.
Stories too, right? Like it's not just about people, it's about people doing things and experiencing things that you can relate to or that you can aspire to, right?
Yes.
I want to wear those shoes. I want to drink that latte. I want to be in that place if you're a travel influencer. I call it wallpapering. So, people will wallpaper beautiful visuals, but they all kind of start to look the same. How many times have you traveled somewhere beautiful and taken hundreds of photos of the place only to never, ever look at those photos again? But if you're in one of the photos with your bestie or your kids or someone special in your life, oh, you're going back to that photo. You're making that your screensaver, right?
So that's one of the biggest things that I took away from working with really big brands is every big brand operates on this aspirational lifestyle strategy. A department at Fabletics, our strategy with social media was we are not selling leggings and activewear on Instagram. We are painting a picture of what your life looks like when you're wearing our leggings and our product. Because when you're wearing this and you feel amazing and you're empowered to do all the things, right? You're getting that result. So it's all results focused marketing. It's aspirational lifestyle. And this goes for every single brand. This is something that I coach my coaches and consultants on every single day. If you are on social media, you're a brand. We all are.
Absolutely.
We all are on our personal, right? We're building brands, and every successful brand paints the picture of an aspirational lifestyle, a result that we're working toward, exactly as you're saying. And so as a coach, a consultant, you need to do the same thing. What's the goal? What's the biggest result that your client wants more than anything? What do they want? What are they seeking? What results? What lifestyle do they want to be living? Are they coming to work with you as a business coach because you're going to help them create work-life balance and create a business that can fuel their life so they can travel and be a nomad? Right? What are those results that they want? Mm-hmm. Are you helping people lose weight? And as a result, they can get out there and have energy and travel and be with their kids and live a certain lifestyle that they want to have. So get really clear on what that lifestyle is that you're helping people with, and then use your social media to show them, one, how you're living that lifestyle, how you embody that lifestyle, how you went from where they're at right now to this lifestyle, and how you can be a guide to get them there too. You shouldn't just be posting, okay, my topic is menopause, or a topic is healthy eating. No, your content pillars should be all about taking people, speaking to those topics in a way that connects it to that aspirational lifestyle and helps give them a path to get to that lifestyle themselves, because that is how you convert people from content to client. That's how you get them to make that decision to work with you. Yeah, definitely.
So, Dawn, I know one of your superpowers is also training people's teams to do this kind of work. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that we work with are solopreneurs, right? So they're trying to, keep all the plates spinning, all the balls in the air, but you reach a point where you are ready to possibly outsource something like this. So is this something that you should outsource, especially when you're at the solopreneur stage? And what does that look like?
Chances are you don't know what it takes to use social media correctly, right? Or to use it in a way that converts. Like, social media for business is a totally different ballgame. And I hate that people put that pressure on themselves and they feel like they have to be able to do that. And then it makes them feel terrible about their businesses because social media is not growing their business, and it makes them feel like they're bad at what they do, and it reflects nothing on you. It's just showing you that you're not a natural born marketer, that you need help with that, right? So I always recommend get your revenue stream set first. Start building and growing your business. Learn, how can I tap my network? How can I create strategic partnerships with other people to get clients? Like, what do I need to do to start creating, to get clients, to have revenue in the door before I invest in a large way in social media? The small purchase you might be making at that area, at that level of your business, is you might hire a VA and have that VA help you churn out. Yes, have that virtual assistant help you churn out content, because it's going to take you a lot of time to churn out content. But you should be the brainchild of that content. You should be the one this is the direction. Maybe you're the one writing the copy. You're writing it out. You're like, these are the topics that my person needs help with. And, you're drafting all of that. And then the VA helps you post it, helps you turn it into Canva graphics, helps you with that tedious stuff. That you don't necessarily need to be spending your time on as a CEO and as a coach or a consultant that's trying to grow your business. So that's where I always recommend first is grow your revenue streams and just have social media on so that people know your business, you're open for business. It's like your open sign in your window. Shows them that you're open for business. So do that. That's the bare minimum. Typically when I see you've crossed the 6-figure mark, you've got the revenue, you've got the business is sort of built and going, and now you're ready to grow.
Okay? So that's a team member then? What is that?
So at that time, you could hire a team member. If you don't have a VA yet, definitely hire a social media VA, somebody that can handle that basic stuff for you. What are your strengths? And you need to design your process, your strategy around that. So if you're a writer, or if you're really magnetic on camera, like you're a camera person, you're all about video and showing up on video, great. You need to be creating your video content, but maybe you're not as great at writing and you're not as great at writing those captions. Okay, you need to hire a copywriter. Okay, so hire somebody that specializes in magnetic messaging and help you with the copy so you can right? So your hire depends on your strengths. You need to fill in for the opportunities that you have that you're not as strong in. When you're ready to really take it to the next level and get actual ROI, you need an expert to come in. You need a strategist. And so that's where, like, working with someone like me is you come in and you have a one-time investment. I'm not trying to work with you for months and months on end. I am here to help build self-sufficiency, to give you the strategy, the systems, the tools, the expertise that you need to create more effective content that drives sales, that drives results. So when you bring in someone like that, it's just like calling the plumber. I'm not coming in every month to fix your toilet. I'm coming in once to fix it and to get you set up on the right path.
It's like that old adage, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
Or we teach a woman to fish. I don't know why it's always men.
Thank you.
But I love that. I love that. So Dawn, if this is resonating with people, where can they find you?
Yes, come connect with us at Sneakers and Kale on Instagram. You can come to our website, sneakersandkale.com.
I love it. I love it. Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to leave viewers and listeners with about all things social media?
The biggest thing I want you to know, if you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur, business owner, if you are somebody that is, helps people, that is making this world a better place, I want you to know that if social media feels hard for you, it doesn't feel good, marketing and sales in general don't feel good, I want you to disconnect that from your job. And I don't want you to let marketing and feeling bad at marketing bring down your energy and make you feel like you're bad at what you do, because marketing has nothing to do with what you do. You got into this to change the world, to make an impact, to help people change their lives, and to make a difference. Focus on that, and this world needs you.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, Dawn, we could keep talking all day. I love learning from you and I love talking to you as always. And I love that we've connected in this wonderful world of business and entrepreneurship. Thanks so much for joining us on the Camera Confident podcast.
Thank you for having me. This has been such a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Camera Confident. Help us grow by subscribing, liking, and sharing this podcast. And be sure to follow me on LinkedIn at Shirlee Engel and on Instagram at b.camera.confident. See you next time.